You're listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter read-aloud version of my daily horoscope published on Substack. If you would like to read this, please click on the link in the description box below. Without further ado, here is the daily horoscope. Little words with big meaning. Mercury opposes Jupiter, the Sun trines Pluto, and a 3-card spread for the weekend. Weekend horoscope for Saturday and Sunday, September 17th through the 18th, 2022. Welcome to the AstroMommy Newsletter, a daily horoscope that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. The AstroMommy Newsletter is a reader-supported publication, meaning it only thrives thanks to the generous support of lovely people just like you. The 2 best ways you can support my work are to share this newsletter with a friend and to consider upgrading to a paid subscription. Whether you're a first-time reader or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in my community. I hope you enjoy today's horoscope and card reading. Blessings. Good morning, friends. As I'm sitting down to write the weekend's horoscope early on Friday morning, I feel so in and on, in sync, in tune, and on top of it. These little words can mean so much. I won something amazing last night, a free natal chart reading from an astrologer whom I really admire. At first, when I got the notification, I didn't believe it was real. I thought it maybe was a scammer trying to collect my email. So before I answered and accepted the free reading, I cast a horary chart asking if it was really the astrologer contacting me. It was obvious in the horary that it was really the astrologer, or his company, that was contacting me. So I accepted the reading and gave my email. They were very professional and we booked the reading. Then I proceeded to literally jump for joy and run around my house hooting and laughing that I had won a free reading. You'd think I had won the lottery. And I won't argue with you. I feel like I have. The spiritual lottery. Because I made a wish when I entered his contest, and the probability that it would come true was so slim, it feels unbelievable. My dreams were permeated with feelings of joy. I don't really remember what I dreamed about, just that they were happy dreams. I woke up this morning eager and ready to start my day. I made my coffee and whipped up some banana bread batter, which is currently baking in the oven as I type. I put the laundry that was in the washer into the dryer and started another load. I feel light as a bird and as blessed as a puff of white dandelion seed, having been wished upon and blown into the air by a beautiful young child. As the song goes, I'm walking on sunshine, whoa! I'm walking on sunshine, whoa! I'm walking on sunshine, whoa! And it's time to feel good, yeah! Oh, there I go again, singing on the horoscope. I kind of told myself I wasn't going to do that, but oh well, I guess it's part of the AstroMommy package. Right now, as I am literally typing this on Friday morning, the moon in Gemini is conjoining my ascendant at 8 degrees of Gemini. I'm sorry to talk so much about myself this morning, but I have to tell someone. And Jupiter is within a 1-degree orb of making a trine to my natal sun, the second pass this year. The first one being back in June when Jupiter was direct, and that happened to be when I decided to announce my newsletter to strangers. Jupiter brings wishes, and a little bird told me, David Palmer, the Leo King, that when Jupiter goes retrograde in Aries, he brings you a gift of whatever you set your intentions on when he was direct in Aries. I mentioned this back in June's newsletter, but the last time that Jupiter was in Aries in 2010, the gift that I received was a huge blessing of having the honor of delivering my niece. It's a long story, but to make it short, I had always wanted to become a midwife and deliver babies, but up until that point, I had only given birth to my own babies. And then my sister got pregnant and decided to have an unassisted home birth and asked me if I would catch her baby. I said, absolutely. I had had some training on childbirth when I was trained as an EMT years earlier and had a little experience having 2 kids of my own naturally as well. So I felt like I could do it. Her midwife gave me some informal training and it was an amazing experience. It was such a gift and something I had always wanted to do. I'm not sure exactly why, but I feel like this free reading is another major gift. I have to be careful not to put too many high expectations on it and be open to receiving whatever it brings, but I feel like fortune is shining upon me right now, and I just wanted to share. And it's in the astrology. So getting back down to earth and out of the clouds, let's talk about this weekend's astrology. So we have many energies building up on Saturday and then perfecting on Sunday. So I feel that we may all experience a sort of crescendo, or the feeling like we are riding a wave that peaks on Sunday night and then begins to finish and slide onto the shore by the end of next week, which just happens to be the fall equinox on Thursday and Mercury cazimi on Friday, when he conjoins the Sun at 0 Libra and then ingresses into his home sign of Virgo. This is a very important weekend and week ahead. I'm excited. This looks really good, so let's get into it. The moon will be in Gemini on Saturday and then ingress into Cancer on Sunday in the early morning, so we are going to feel our circumstances shift this weekend. The moon in Gemini is very much in the mind, thinking over all the little details, sorting through the cacophony of ideas, and putting all the puzzle pieces together into a logical picture. When the moon moves into Cancer on Sunday, this mental focus shifts to a grounding focus, where we connect with the routines and habits that center us, the morning and evening rituals that bookend our days, and the things that we do that create the tidal rhythms that ebb and flow within our lives. But let's rewind and get back to Saturday, though, because there's a lot more to discuss. On Saturday, the moon will reach her third quarter square to the sun at 24 degrees Gemini, which is almost an exact quincunx to Pluto and Capricorn at 26 degrees. The sun now at 24.5 degrees Virgo enters into a 1.5 degree orb to a trine to Pluto, which will perfect on Sunday night. So this third quarter phase of the moon is about reorientation, using all that we've learned since the new moon to sharpen our skills. It's a time to review what you've done during this lunar cycle and what you were able to manifest. It's a time to take action, just like the first quarter phase, but with all the wisdom that you've gathered thus far, supporting your efforts. With the moon quincunx to Pluto during this phase, I feel that this could be a time of important shifts in one's inner growth. In my mind, I just had the image of a butterfly having emerged from the cocoon, stretching out its wings. I imagine that is what this may feel like. We still have the 2 YODs that I spoke about in the last few newsletters happening. If you are new here, I will put a link to the newsletter right here, where you can learn more about YODs. We have the yod between Venus, the asteroid Chiron, and the South Node. And then we have the yod between Mars, Chiron, and the South Node. Both of these, in my opinion, are activating an underlying trigger point or old wound that intensifies the energy of the weekend. As with any yod, there could be a feeling of destiny or fate. Mercury is in a little-known aspect to Neptune called an Antiscia, which is like a hidden conjunction, meaning that we may have some pretty fantastic divine messages coming through this weekend. We could feel really in sync with our destinies or have the feeling like the stars are aligning for us. Moving on to Sunday, the moon will move into the sign of her domicile, Cancer, by 3:59 a.m. Eastern Time, activating all the other cardinal signs, which she will make aspects to over the next couple of days. At around noon on Sunday, the moon will make squares to both Mercury and Jupiter, forming the third point of a right triangle called a T-square. Mercury and Jupiter will perfect their opposition at 6:33 p.m. Eastern Time, but we have been feeling this energy build up for the past few days. So all of the negotiating, deliberating, and debating that has been going on will reach a peak on Sunday, probably resulting in some sort of decision being made. By late Sunday night, just before midnight at 11:57 p.m. Eastern Time, the Sun and Pluto will form an exact trine with each other. A trine is a favorable 120-degree aspect that usually means all obstructions are gone and the energy can finally flow freely. It's like when you go to the acupuncturist and they put in a needle that completely unblocks the meridian and you get a rush of energy as the chakras get re-innervated with chi. So I feel like this weekend could be really amazing, transformative, and important for personal growth, and also in the wider world for issues being resolved, blockages being removed, or standoffs finding solutions. Let's move on to a 3-card spread for the weekend. The 3 cards in this spread will represent our desire, the obstacle, and the solution. From left to right in this picture, we have 7, dance, 10, the market, and Petro 3, Gouda la Flambeau. Okay. The desire for the weekend is represented by 7, dance, which in traditional tarot is the Chariot card. In this deck, the scene on the card is of a trance dance, and the dancers are experiencing transcendence through their physical movements. This card means triumph, victory, and feeling motivated. It can also represent travel. So as the desire for the weekend, maybe some of us want to feel triumphant or victorious, or maybe we desire motivation, adventure, and travel. Just looking at the picture, I get the feeling of wanting connection with others. The second card signifies the obstacle. The card that represents this is 10, the market, reversed. This card in traditional tarot is the Wheel of Fortune, which means in the upright position that life goes up and then comes down, like a Ferris wheel at a county fair. It is the card that represents fate and fortune, good or bad luck. In the picture on this card, we see the New Orleans French market, a place where money comes in and money goes out, and there is a constant exchange between people. People's fate and fortune are in constant flux. In the reverse position, it can represent your fortune changing, either from good or bad to good. Or maybe it means a desire to not leave things up to fate, and that is the obstacle, wanting to control one's fate or fortune. We can always step outside the circulation and take a look at what's going on to get a different perspective. And I think this card in the reverse position could be indicating that as well. And the third card represents the solution. The third card that represents the solution is Petro 3, Guide de la Flambeau, reversed, which in traditional tarot is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is about acting from a place of integrity, honesty, and virtue. In the picture on this card, you see a man and a woman dancing, flames licking up their feet and backs. The man holds the woman behind her shoulders, and she grasps him behind the neck. There is a definite feeling of tension and sexual energy in the art of this card. The question that comes to my mind is, what truths do they have to communicate to each other? In the reverse position, it could mean there is a fear of telling the truth about something. Maybe it is wise to hold something back in this case and keep the tension. Or maybe this card is part of the obstacle. I'm going to pick a clarifying card for this solution card. I got Petro 4, Aguila Flambeau. Okay, yeah. So this, in traditional tarot, is the Four of Wands, which is about feeling complete and whole, and of marking the completion with a celebration, like a marriage where the couple consummates their union. In this card, we see a ship with a white sail, sailing on a boiling sea with steam shooting up in many places. This signifies where water, emotions, meets fire, spirit of truth. There is steam. A powerful union, and in order for this boat to make it to safety, it will have to depend upon divine guidance to get there. Putting it all together, maybe whatever this reading is signifying for you is that in order to get what you desire, rather than trying to control it, let it unfold in a natural and organic way, because your fortune is about to change. Your feelings can remain a mystery until the timing is right. Or the reading is trying to say, don't be afraid to tell the truth. Either way, the solution or the outcome, in the end, will be a feeling of completion, something ending and simultaneously something beginning. Just looking at the pictures on these cards shows me that we want to feel connection, but we feel disconnected by circumstance. And the solution is to not be afraid to metaphorically dance with others, because when you dance, you try to become one body moving across the dance floor. We need to speak the truth because we have to trust in the divine to lead us to shore, to the place of union and completion. This reading ties in nicely with the transits of the weekend as we near the third quarter phase of the moon and the peak point of the Mercury-Jupiter cycle, and the sun making a favorable trine to Pluto. It's time to ride the crest of this wave and surf to shore. The ride is exhilarating, is it not? But when our feet touch the shore, we feel grounded and secure. We survived the ride. Time to celebrate. What an interesting reading for the weekend. I would love to know if this makes sense to you or if you resonated with this reading, so please leave a comment if you would like to share. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy.
Today's horoscope was brought to you by the Moon in Gemini, reaching her third quarter phase square and subsequent ingress into Cancer, the Sun trine Pluto, Mercury in Antiscia with Neptune, and opposing Jupiter, and of course, double YODs. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot and book set, available on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletter, I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things that I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks for listening.